2022 BIPOC Perioperative Leaders to Know. My name is Carissa Brewster, staff writer for Whitman Partners, and today we welcome Tina Celifie. She is the Executive Director of Perioperative Services at Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Excellent. So my first question is, what drew you into perioperative services?
You know, I just had a huge interest in perioperative services when I was in nursing school. I went to nursing school in Loma Linda University, and I did our operating room rotation, and that really sparked my interest. I was actually hired on my student rotation, and I've been in the OR ever since.
Nice. One of the common threads I'm hearing from people is that they're like, I didn't know I was interested in this until I was exposed to it, and then they fall in love with it.
Yes, yes, it is. It is fun, fun, fun.
So has the COVID pandemic impacted your approach to leadership at all?
I think it has somewhat. I think that it has definitely brought extra level of protection and caring for staff and what they may be going through, and also just giving a little bit more of an allowance in how you lead, and taking care that you have addressed all the issues. So it has brought some extra caring, extra TLC. And I know that leaders do, grab on and hug their staff, and they protect them, but it does give an extra level of, are you okay, and what can I do to help?
During your career, have you ever experienced discrimination or witnessed discrimination, and how was it handled in your case?
So yes, I have. And my motto is grace and determination. I think that it is important to do the best that you can do. I think it's important to not get angry or shy away from it, but maintain that commitment to your profession and your race. And that has really been a great recipe for me and how to deal with it. Some people can overcome it, and the relationship can change, and some people cannot. But the respect will always be there, regardless of how people feel.
And what are your thoughts on how search firms like ourselves, talent acquisition professionals, and administration, hospital administration, how can they promote diversity and inclusion in the OR when it comes to leadership as you get higher up?
I really do think it's important to focus on what does that individual, or what can that individual bring to our organization, and what difference can they make. And it could be financial viability, growth and development, to focus on the talents and the abilities that that individual can bring. I think that that is the biggest.
Did you have any mentors throughout your career? Anybody that made a huge impact on you?
I have had um, my CFO, my CNO, my CEO. They have all been huge mentors for me, and they impacted my career in a very, very early on, and um, it really shaped how I view um, issues in healthcare, how I view issues in the facility that I'm in, and how I go about solving those issues.
What are some key areas you think like a mentor should cover with their mentee? If there's like nothing else that they pass on to their mentee, what are like 3 areas you think are really important?
I think that when you look at issues in healthcare or issues in your specific facilities, the key focus is um, the patient and the community impact, the provider's impact, and also the staff in the institution that you work for. Everything can be um, looked through those lenses. I think that that is really important when you're learning. Some people uh, get one part of it correct and then they forget about the other two. And so to be able to look at all of those aspects are really a key to success.
What advice do you have for a perioperative nurse, a BIPOC individual who has their eye on leading? What would be your advice for them in terms of their career growth?
To stay focused on the field, on the perioperative field, learn what is new, learn what is developing, learn what is cutting edge. Listen to your clientele, your surgeons who bring you your patients. And so you want to um, listen to what they have to say and what are their needs. They are your client. And then your client, which is the surgeon, brings you your patient. And so those two entities, you really need to know what their needs are, what their focuses are, and where the industry is going.
We, we've politically, our country, or maybe all the whole world, has been in, a weird space for the last 5 years, 6 years. And a lot of it has begun to bleed into the workplace. And so what is your advice? What are your thoughts on how individuals can handle those situations?
You know, that is a really good question, and it has been very impactful. Um, Healthcare workers are still focusing on quality patient care. That may have been what has saved us, because you can be working side by side with your partner. You don't know what their politics are and what they care about on the outside. You just know that they do a darn good job in that ICU, or they do a darn good job in that heart room. And so it really doesn't come up because of the focus. And then when you open up a chest and you see the heart beating, you cannot tell what political persuasion that person is. It is a beating heart that needs to be fixed. And so I think because of that focus, healthcare workers are really continue to be focused on patients.
Regards to the nursing shortage, which isn't a new thing, but it seems like every few years we're reminded that this is a problem. What are your thoughts on how to increase the pipeline for nurses, specifically the OR?
We need to get creative. And I feel like we're fishing with the same bait for nurses, and we need to change that. We need to change how we look at their shifts. We need to create forums that we can really listen to them. We need to create those forums within the institutions that we work for. Um, what what looks good, what doesn't look good. Nurses are changing with the times, and many of them are going to registries because they have a little bit more ownership on their schedules and the amount of money that they're making. And so I do think that we have to break that mold and start getting very creative with how we are hiring and how we are structuring the shifts and the staffing.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you sharing your time.
Thank you.